There we are. Oh, okay.
We're behind already.
We are.
Goodness.
Sorry. Hey, everybody. It wouldn't be the same if I don't say that.
It used to be y'all.
Hey, y'all.
I think in our video.
I said, hey, everybody.
Yeah, but on our video descriptions, it was always y'all. I think it still is most of the time.
Hey, y'all. It's Zoe. Anyway, hi, guys. We are glad you're here.
What's they talking about 5x5? What am I missing?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm trying to give it just a few minutes, but I don't know what Ed was talking about. There's Kevin. I made their second live in a row.
You did?
Without
you did
a reminder or anything.
You did a great job. Hey, Mom. There's Miss Catherine, Mr. Jim. Lots and lots of people jumping on here. Don't forget, thumbs up. As Rex says, thumbs up, like and subscribe. Oh, goodness. He's coughing.
Well, he hasn't been feeling bad or anything. Maybe he just got strangled or something.
Yeah. It means we can hear you and see you good.
Gotcha. That must be one of those online chat live things that I don't know about. I see people in the comments all the time highlighting the name. I don't know how to do any of that. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how it does it.
Hey, Grammy.
I can be on like Jason and Brooke live, moderating and say something, and somebody will have
tag us. Yeah,
they'll have it highlighted, and I have no clue how to do that.
I have no idea how to do it either. Like it'll show our name where they tagged us in a comment, and I can't tag them back to say anything because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Thanks for the explanation, Ed. So now at least I know what it means. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And it's not like other YouTubers or anything. It's people, just viewers in the comments. And they know how to do it all. I just don't.
Well, like on Facebook, you get on and you can do the @ and it'll let you tag.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
They're doing that, but it's on YouTube and I don't know how. I haven't figured that out.
I'm going to try to pick out who does it one of these days and just send them a message now. How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you highlight my name in gray?
They said @
So you do it the same?
But if it does that, it don't like pop up names. You have to like completely type it out, and then it don't always let it be clickable.
I don't know. Well, Tina says
@ sign and the channel name.
Yeah.
Yep. Cheryl said that. Jane said that.
I don't think it's worked for me when I tried it. Maybe I didn't do it right.
I wonder if they have to be a follower of ours. Well, they tag us.
I don't know.
Use the @ type the name exactly. It won't show on your end, but it will show to the person.
Oh, it only shows to them. Oh. Well, no wonder I thought it wasn't working.
Oh.
So maybe it worked and I just didn't know it because it only shows it to them.
Well, their chats. Only the person you're tagging can see.
Now that makes more sense. Thank you for that explanation. All this time, I just thought I was doing it wrong. I was like, why is my non work?
Their chats go so fast that I would have to scroll back up to make sure I'm spelling Nikki with a 1 and an L and an I and everything else is right.
Yeah.
Kevin said you've been tagging folks like crazy.
Yeah, I've been tagging folks all over the place, and I just didn't even know it. I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Well, dang.
Well,
now we're going to watch. We're going to start tagging everybody.
Well, there's no telling who all I've tagged. I may have tagged them 4 or 5 times thinking it wasn't working right.
I know.
And then they're thinking, why is he still tagging me?
There's Tony. Everybody's telling you good job on the fence.
Well, I gave Tony some credit.
You did.
In that video. I had pegged H braces before.
Right.
But I didn't leave a little bit sticking out to put the tension wire on. And he told me that, and I was like, well, that makes all kind of sense.
Meg said it works on laptop and desktop, not on mobile. That's why. Because you always watch it on the phone.
Meg, I'm always on the phone.
Yep, that's why.
Okay. Well, at least I'm getting an explanation that I know how to do it. It's just not working because I'm on the phone. So there we go.
Yes.
That works too.
That makes sense. So we'd have to watch it on the computer.
I'm almost never on the computer unless I'm editing.
Right. Yeah, that's the only time.
The only time we're on the laptop is when I'm doing.
We should get a keyboard for our TV. That Wi-Fi's to our TV.
Well, Kevin said it works on the phone because he said that's all he uses.
Well, dang it. Here we are again.
I'm just going to try it and see. How about that? I'll just try it and see if it works.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
But then I ain't going to know if it works, so. Because I'm not going to be able to see it, so I'm not going to know if it works or not.
Well, just know if you comment to Nick on anybody else's chat with the app, he's trying to tell you hello back, but he's probably not doing it work. See, it's not tagging us in anything. I don't know.
No, I don't see it highlighted, but I don't know. I just wanted to know how to do it.
When you start to tag someone, it will pop up several names, and you can click the name, and it will populate your chat. See, it doesn't ever do that for me.
Maybe that part doesn't work on mobile.
Like I see Catherine, me and Catherine will say hello to each other, and if I try to go at G&G, it doesn't ever populate her name. It don't populate anybody's.
Oh. See, so well. All right, so let's get to the first comment. That's moving. That's got to quit moving. It's gonna be still. Yeah, it's moving that. Anyway,
don't breathe.
He said the computer populates, so we're never on the computer.
Right.
But anyway, so I saw a comment about surfing Heidi.
So, Nick, we moved the tarp. I can't go into much about that. So we moved the tarp.
Well, we need to talk about what the tarps are.
Okay.
You want to explain that, because I've actually got that so that they'll understand why there was even a tarp there. I haven't talked about that.
Go ahead.
Well, we haven't talked about it at all. It hasn't been in a video or anything.
Well, we did measure a tarp space because we were getting tarps, used billboard tarps.
Yeah,
that's the last
we
time.
did. We talked about that space we were measuring.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes when old billboards are taken down, the what they have
the vinyl,
right? What they have on a billboard is a vinyl image. It's a large tarp, and it has a design printed on it. Well, they have to change those out as the buyer changes, or the company, or whatever.
Sure, maybe they may not rent that billboard anymore.
Right, the renter. So people will take those and they'll turn around and sell them. And they are phenomenal for suppressing grass and coverings.
Putting down like a silage tarp in your garden or something like that.
They're real heavy duty. They're made to withstand.
Super heavy duty.
Heavy, too. Heavy duty and heavy. And so we found some on Marketplace that we went and bought. And so we had plans to put one down for the bees, where the bees were going to go. Well, Miss Tanya decided that we probably didn't need that. They could become slippery. It could become hazardous. It can also reflect
more heat
in the summer. And so we just decided we're just going to take that tarp up. We'll use it for something else. We got plenty of things to
I was going to put it in another spot in the garden.
Right.
Just for weed suppression.
So you and Chance were working on that. And he said, Chance, here, take this way across. I mean, it's a good 2 or 3 football fields away. And about 2 football fields away, right?
Probably something like that.
And so Chance was dragging it, and Holly decided she needed to help. But as Chance would drag it, Holly took off running. You're shaking the camera.
Sorry.
Your phone's on there.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
Holly would take off running as fast as she can, and she'd jump on that tarp, and Chance would halt. And he'd just, here it goes. So she'd sit there, play and play and play. And she'd jump off of it, and he'd take off again, and there she comes. She'd run, and she'd jump on that tarp. She wanted that thing to stop, and it was so funny. And Tanya said, "You need to go get video of
It
that."
had happened several times
It did.
before you recorded
I
it.
did. I had to follow him down the hill a little bit, and I said, "Come here, Holly." And there she come running, and then next thing you know, gone again. She figured it out. She'd jump on that tarp. And that tarp was not light.
Well,
to
the
begin
tarp
with.
has already got some weight to it.
Yeah, it was. A
And
big
there
one.
is no way once Holly got on it, the Chance was going to be able to pull
Yeah,
it.
right. And so that was they played that game all the way down. She would have helped drag it if she had had two hands.
Well, finally, right at the end of your reel, short, whatever, as you were recording, finally she ran on down the hill
yeah,
and he was able to get it to the garden. It wasn't too heavy for him to drag,
right.
but it was too heavy for him to get down there with Holly.
With Holly on it, and she was surfing. She was pasture surfing. It was so cute because she's just this big lupus thing that runs around and she just gallops because she's so large and gallops wherever she goes. She's not graceful at all.
I'm trying my best to hold that
I
while
know.
you're doing your galloping.
Well, I'm not even touching it.
It was shaking it.
I think you're touching on that side. So she just gallops because she's not a graceful girl at all.
No.
And to watch her
She's a
running
big old
and
thing.
jumping on that thing was just so funny. She's mostly no nonsense kind of thing.
She doesn't play a lot.
She does not, but when she does, it's so funny to watch.
You know, she doesn't come to you a lot. When we first get there, she comes to see us, but she's not like Heidi was. Heidi wanted to be right up under you.
Yes, she wanted to throw the.
Now she would work.
Yeah.
She was a working dog all night long.
Yeah.
She would circle that place constantly. But Holly.
Lona said she can relate.
Holly's not.
She's not. Mm-mm.
She don't want you. She will come up, say hello, you pet her, and she's off about her business, and that's the end of her interactions, really, usually. Yeah. But something about that tarp, she wanted to play with it.
It was a big fun day.
Yeah.
She had a big fun time. Miss Robin asked if I tried the vanilla extract, and I used it to make that cake that I had to make for your work. That beautiful cake. It was a vanilla. She wanted a vanilla cake, and that's what she got, and it was delicious. But yes, so Holly, what was the other reel? Oh, Farmer Grandpa Rhett. Farmer Grandpa Rhett.
That did very well.
It did. He was so cute. That was the most exciting morning for him. He was so excited. He got up because we had to do his makeup, and he was just an old man, and he got out of school that day, and he said, my makeup's all gone. We need to do it again. Oh, no, we're done with that today.
But he had his funny little walk he was doing.
Yeah. He likes to act like a little old man. Couldn't help but start laughing when you're.
I'm avoiding. Everybody's talking about you having to chase that. I hadn't got to it yet, but you might as well because they've all watched it several times. I saw a comment from, I think it was Tony, that said didn't know you could run that fast. Rewind that and watch Zoe's running. That was, I think that's what got me so tickled. And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest, these people. I had to do a little additional editing because even though we were laughing about it, I don't think y'all would have taken what I said the same way Zoe took it. And I didn't want to get hammered for it. because a lot of people don't understand our banner. So I actually cut that part out.
Oh.
Right after I yelled, Zoe, I said something else. I had to cut that part out.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have taken it right.
No one would have.
But
they would not.
So Zoe was convinced. Y'all, if you've ever dealt with field fencing, the welded wire field fencing, the ends are horrible.
Hey, Nico.
You have to just stretch it out, and you have to trim the ends off. They're horrible. They're all bent up, and that's where they tie it together, and it's just marred up. It's horrible. Well, Zoe was convinced she needed to try to flatten that out. And if you had been paying attention before that, you noticed that Zoe's mind was wandering because I'm driving off, pulling the fence out, and her mind wanders off.
I was looking to see where everybody else
Her attention span wanders, and the roll would start following me.
It did.
And
she'd have to way up there.
And she'd have to run and get it and roll it back out. Well, when she
got too far away from me at one point.
I even made sure that they knew I'm 300 feet away, and Zoe's doing all these hand motions, and it's about like backing a trailer. I say, Catherine said her and Tony almost got divorced 6 times on one side. Well, me and Zoe almost get divorced every time we back a trailer up.
Yeah.
I have to do it with my truck where I have a camera because Zoe has the worst hand motions on the planet. And I work for a company where there are standardized signals. Yeah. And Zoe doesn't know those.
It's like working the tractor.
And she's not supposed to know. But she doesn't know them. So if I signal to her, it means nothing to her.
Yeah. He'll start doing all this.
But her signals are supposed to mean something to me, and they're complete gibberish.
Mine's that's what I do. Stop.
Well, not only that, but I'm 300 feet away, dragging fence, trying to watch where I'm going on the tractor.
Trying to watch straight and behind him.
I'm trying to keep it as close to the post as I
so
can.
We don't have to move it. Yeah.
But I'm trying to watch you too. Mm-hmm. And Zoe decides to wave at the neighbor in the middle of this, and I stop.
Well, they were driving by.
And then she's just looking at me, and I'm waiting, and she starts telling me to go, and I'm trying to figure out why she told me to stop to start with. Because she just stood there. And I'm like, what is she doing? Yeah. She told me to stop, but she hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
And I think she's telling me to go, but I can't tell. And I'm just sitting there. And I was like, Zoe was waving at the neighbor.
I was. Because they were driving by, and that's what you do, is you wave at your neighbor.
And I was like, I thought she told me to stop. And she's, go! You didn't do anything.
But then I was trying to get you to stop. I couldn't get you. You couldn't hear me yelling. Because I'm going, would you stop? Stop. Because that thing started rolling. And you're pulling, and it's going with you, and I'm trying to back it up. And I'm like, my fingers getting stuck in the holes, and I'm like, ow, ow. I'm like, stop. Well, then I straightened it out, and I stepped on it wrong. And I didn't step on the edge and lifted my other foot up, and there it went.
That thing takes off.
And
it's rolling itself back up.
I was like, oh, gosh. Not only is it rolling really fast, it wasn't rolling like straight. So it like starts.
No, I'm thankful it didn't.
Because it starts going like this. It turns into like a kaleidoscope or a telescope of wire across that pasture. It had to be 40 feet wide out through there.
Thankfully, it didn't go straight. If it went straight, it would have just followed me and rolled itself all the way back up. The fact that it went down the hill and went long, it ran into that little tree.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the only thing that stopped it.
And everybody's hollering, only Mama would do that.
And I said, thank goodness for that tree, because Zoe's run, as Tony said, he couldn't believe you ran that fast. She wasn't catching it. She wasn't even getting close.
Well, I was running in rubber boots, and I already run like a sick horse, and then my gallop was a little bit off, and I can make all the excuses for my run, but
that's why there was absolutely no way I was editing out that part. There's no way.
Yeah, you were like, I hope you caught that on video.
I did
said,
say-
I did.
I said, I hope you were videoing that. And she said, oh, I did.
Yep.
I said, well, there is no chance I'm cutting that out of here. Not.
Londa said that's why they have a halfway built chicken coop, because construction projects cause domestic ugliness. Yes.
You know, I mentioned it before.
It causes
about
near-death experiences.
Brooke's speech at the first Okie.
Oh, yeah.
She looks at me and she said, she tells the crowd, if you can survive, if a marriage can survive farming, you can survive anything. And she looks
Processing chickens.
dead at me and says, "Do you hear that, Nick?
No, ain't that right, Nick?
Or ain't that something like that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I know. You know what? We used to call 2-person canoes. Those are divorce boats.
Oh, I bet.
If you got a paddle together, that's a divorce boat.
Yeah, that would not work for us. That's why Nick had a single person kayak.
Yeah, that wasn't working. But actually, the fencing went okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
Well, you got all the pins and stuff done by yourself while I worked. So when it was time for me to come in, I think we did okay with that, because we went in and you had a plan of how we were going to work it out.
Well, I had a plan before y'all got there, but I didn't get the supplies that matched that plan.
Yeah.
So we had to redo the plan.
But it worked.
It did work. It was probably a little more complex than it needed to be, but I didn't have what we needed to have there to simplify it a little.
Yeah.
We had the wrong straps.
Yeah.
But either way, we got it done.
Somebody had made the comment about Jason Brooke had fencing, running fence down pat or something. They had a great plan. I was thinking they had that big fancy tool.
Yeah, the fence stretcher is
all.
much better. When we run the bigger fence, I may put out the money to buy that attachment, because you can set the whole roll of wire on there, and as you do it, it's stretching it, and that does make it better. What we have for a fence stretcher, you saw me putting it together, is the board with the one bracket. It's made for that.
Yes.
It's just you have to take that off, redo it to stretch if you're going to stretch in sections. So we stretched that entire span,
and we don't
have that
attachment where the fence is like this.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
But if I rigged it right on the bucket, it would hold it up. So
Nico said it's worth it.
I have no doubt it would be if I was doing a longer run.
Say now when we're getting ready to do the entire pasture.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it probably be something we do.
Where our top road is, we're going to have fence all down that perimeter. I would probably go ahead and make that investment. But
everybody's saying you should try to build a house together. Londa say great googly moogly. And Janine said, I said when we built our house that if we survive that, we can survive anything. We've been together 42 years now. Excuse me.
I don't even want to think about how it would be for us building a house.
I know, that makes me nervous. That's why I just hope the neighbor's house.
This fence was okay because I put the posts in by myself so they're straight.
You did, because I started 2 or 3 and you said, nope, you're done.
Well, they were zigzagging.
Well, it wasn't even that. They were leaning. Because
and they were
the
leaning.
way I did them, they were kind of leaning like this, and his were all straight. Like you could count how many posts I put in because you could see the heads of all of them.
Yeah.
You put 30 in, and it looked like one.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Bye, Tony.
See, Tony.
But yes, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's not my strong suit.
Well, that's why we didn't do that together.
I can put them in the ground. I can't make them straight. I will put them, hammer them things in the ground, but I can't get them straight for you. So if you want them straight, I am not your.
Well, they're all in now. All we got to do is pull the wire on them.
That's right.
And about all we've got left on that side is clipping the T-post.
Yes.
And I'm telling you,
and we've gotten
because we put the wire to the wooden post and the T-posts are slightly behind all those. When you clip it to that T-post, it adds a little more tension. It makes it tight, and it looks really good.
It does. A small piece of metal in about 5 minutes, we could fix you a roll holder for your tractor.
You know, I actually thought about going ahead and fabbing one. It would hold the roll, but that attachment, I looked at them, they're like $600, but that attachment holds the roll and holds tension. You're able to tighten with it.
I wonder how it does
all
that.
in one. I don't know. I've never used one.
Does something like
I might have to ask Jason how his works.
Like a clip thing, so it just kind of dink, dink, dink.
I'll ask him how it works. I don't know. I saw him put the roll on there, and I'm like, that's a lot easier for stretching it out.
Somehow.
You know what wouldn't happen?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't roll itself back up. You wouldn't have to chase it.
Yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't have to chase it down the hill.
Yeah.
So that would be a good investment when we're doing longer runs of fence, no doubt.
Which we will be.
They went ahead and made that investment, but they were putting up a ton of perimeter fence. We're building a small pad.
Yeah. Nico said, I'm sure if you gave Jason and Brooke some quail, they would let you borrow theirs.
I have no doubt they would let me borrow.
They would, for sure.
As many times as we had to borrow the stock trailer, I don't want to borrow anything else.
Yeah. And they tell us all the time, you know how to get in.
I don't care. Y'all, if you don't know, I don't know if we've talked about it or not. My stock trailer is at someone else's house being redone.
Right.
I wanted the lights redone. He was going to rewire the lights for me.
Right.
Where the goats decided to eat the lights. Well, when he got up under it looking at the wiring, it needed some metal work to make it sound. And he asked me, he said, hey, do you want the lights done or do you want this trailer to be right?
Right.
Well, naturally, I want the trailer right. So we've got to get some metal for it. We're going to redo the floorboards where Henry threw his temper tantrum and broke one of the floorboards. So that's how we got into the thing when we went to get Cinco and all that. You saw when we got Cinco and when we went and got Tater, we had to borrow Jason and Brooke's stock trailer. And
Nick swears we ain't.
I'm not borrowing anything else. I hated borrowing that.
But they ain't going to let you do it any other way.
Well, I know.
And they tell us all the time, if you need something, if we got it, just come get it.
I know that, but
just let me know you're leaving the gate.
I just don't want to do that.
Right. But if it came down to where we just didn't see any other way of getting it accomplished, we could. We know we could.
Yeah. So.
But this small run that we're doing was manageable the way that we've done.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, is there an easier way? Yes, but it's not. It's still not an impossible way. Right. It's not that hard. It's not dangerous. We were able to get it done, and that's
right, Nico. He said that's what neighbors are for.
I 100% agree with that, and I have no doubt that it would take one text, and it would absolutely. And I'm not doing it because we can get it done and not have.
Yes, right.
Like I said, when I will make that investment for our farm when we're doing that longer run.
That's right.
Because I could see where it definitely would be. There's an upside to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we talked about the fencing video, you might as well talk about your new goats because that was our other video this week.
Well, we got Kenny and originally Dolly, but little gray goat, little silver goat is Dolly. So we have renamed her to Molly. So now we have Dolly and Molly and Holly the dog. I don't know any more Ollies we can go with.
Oh, we'll figure out something.
But Molly and Kenny came to us from a follower, a friend of ours now. And they have just fit right in and sweetest little things. She wants you to come up and she wants to be pet and it's like they've been here the whole time.
See, there's other people just giving you more names.
Yeah,
You might as well just keep going.
Holly, that's cute too. Yeah, Lorraine said between us, G&G, and Cog Hill, we could share and make it cheaper on all of us. That's true. That is.
Now, there is some truth to that, Lorraine. I have to agree with that. And there's actually things that I've told them, hey, come get this, and they're not going to do it.
No, we're all
There's
same.
been several times I told Brooke, hey, if you need so-and-so, but
yeah.
They're like me. They want to, handle their own stuff, and it is what it is. We got in a tight spot and needed.
Right. Yeah, we had it. Opportunities came, and we had to take
look.
them.
Catherine's already said I already know that, Catherine, and I'm the same way. If it's on my farm, come get it. I mean, you know the way out there. Leave the donkey alone. Don't steal the little silver goat and anything else you have. Get anything else you need. Leave the little silver goat alone.
You don't even have to leave the donkey alone. Just
don't paint the donkey.
It don't even matter if you do. He liked it. It don't even matter.
Poor Jack.
He loved it.
You were talking about Holly's reel or short.
Yeah.
And then we had the short with little Grandpa Red.
Yeah.
Y'all, Tuesday. I'm planning it for Tuesday. Be watching for our short on YouTube or reel on Facebook. I think it's going to be the funniest one we've ever had.
It's either going to be the funniest or the corniest.
Yeah, one of the two.
Either way, I think it'll be great.
I think it's going to turn out pretty funny. But it's going to be Tuesday morning.
Nick's going to actually... Oh, Mel. We had a message from Mel.
I did. I saw it's actually in my notes. A prayer request from Mel.
But Nick's actually going to do a reel himself. I've done all the reels, and I think it's going to be funny.
Zoe typically does the reels. Every once in a while, I may take the video for it and send it to her, but I do the video editing. Zoe does the reels and shorts. That's just kind of the way we work it. But this one, I'm filming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I think they're going to get a kick out of it. And y'all are going to see some familiar faces in it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some guest stars in the reel on Tuesday.
Mel said, yes, please. Mel's been very sick, you guys. She
the upper respiratory mess that so many people are dealing with, and it won't go away.
It won't.
I mean, I've already I try not to film because it sounds like Darth Vader behind it.
But we've all actually we have not been sick.
Everybody's kind of
for a few weeks
recovered, and now that you said that, ready to be sick in the morning.
I know. Well, I was worried about that last night. I was like, we've all been out in that pasture all day. He's going to end up sickly, but he didn't. He didn't wake up sickly.
Well, while we're doing the prayer requests, most of you that are on here probably already know it, but Brooke hasn't been feeling well. She missed the live on Saturday. I'm sure you saw that, but continue to keep her in your prayers. I think she had a doctor's appointment this week, but just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Just that she gets some answers and starts feeling better. What?
Londa said, I stick Tom in front of the camera and let her rip Tater Chip. You never know what he's going to do.
Hey, sometimes that's the way to do it.
That's how I do every live. Nick's like, I need notes. And I'm like, let's just go with it.
I need to kind of have a plan going in. And this is where Zoe and I are exact opposites. When we go to the farm, I want to see, unless I have a project going on, I need to see how things are going, because every time I make a plan, it falls apart. So I want to get to the farm, see what things look like, and decide from there what we need to work on, what order to do things. Zoe wants it all laid out. Well, what you want me to do? We're not there yet. I don't know. What we're gonna work on? Not sure yet.
Well, any other aspect, you kind of have a plan.
Yeah.
You know what you want to do today. Like, we get up, I get dressed. Nick wants to drink some coffee and kind of get ready for the day. I don't. My feet hit the floor. I get up, I get ready, and I'm like, okay, let's get started right now. I just want to go ahead and get everything done.
Because she wants to go to bed at dark.
Yes, I do. I want to get everything done and be ready to just come home and unwind. And Nick's like, let's drink a little coffee and let's go
get set for the day.
Let's think about things. And I'm just like, let's just do it. Whatever it is, let's do it.
Well, that's how you end up halfway doing things.
Well,
on the lives, I want to lay out a plan of, hey, this keeps me on topic, and this is some stuff we can talk about. And Zoe's like, people ask us questions. We'll just go with that. We can't rely on that. We'll just respond to I want to lay something out just in case. We kind of need something to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was like, Zoe, are you going to help me with notes? I don't. You already wrote down everything I was thinking. How do you know?
Because everything I brought up, you said, I already got that. I said, well.
That's where we're exact opposite.
We are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everybody's going to keep on. Catherine said she's talking to Brooke right now, and you need to be praying for her.
Did you text her yesterday?
I did.
Oh, I thought you did. You got the boys signed up for baseball this week.
I did. So Farmer Rhett is no longer in T-ball. He is now coach pitch.
And he informed me yesterday.
Hey, Jody.
Pop was throwing the wiffle ball to him at the farm yesterday.
Yes.
And he was ripping it. And he said, Daddy, I don't need to practice with the tee anymore. I'm pretty good with this pitching stuff. I said, okay, buddy, you do it. I'm pretty good with this. I don't think we need to practice with the tee anymore.
Yeah, he knows he's gonna be all-star this year. He's going to rock the field.
Really?
Yes.
All right then.
And but that's what he thought about T-ball too. And then he was like, yeah, I don't care. He don't care.
You know, we had that in the video. His first game, he was all in it.
He was, and he was making good
He
throws.
hit the ball good. He had that. He was flying around those bases, those little legs.
Lorraine said, what sort of ball? Wiffle ball.
Yeah, it's it's a little plastic ball and a long, skinny yellow bat.
Where's my hand? Really long, thin bat that goes with it. And it's plastic.
So, Rhett, his first game, I mean, I put it in a video. You have to go back and see it. But he was actually kicking up dirt. That thing was flying around those bases. I couldn't believe he was running so fast. I mean, on those little bitty legs. By the end of the season, he's lucky if you get him running at all. He didn't care.
She's like, you want me to go there? Nah.
And he would run a little bit, and then when he got to football, he would be running around that field during like a warm-up lap, and he would be looking around. And I was like, Rhett, run. And he'd speed up for like 10 steps and he'd slow back.
He just jogged. And he's just watching everybody else. And he's, hey, I know. Oh, it's like a mayor. Oh, hey, I know you. It's like in a parade. Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing over there? How's your daddy? You know, he didn't care. Not a bit. You're supposed to be getting warmed up and you just out for a jog.
I just think his interest died down throughout the season. I think he was over it. He wanted to go back to doing something else.
Well, now he'll be doing coach pitch. It's gonna be totally different because they're throwing it to him now.
He is though. He's throwing.
He is. He is. There ain't no hurry up about him.
Oh, bless his heart.
Not unless he wants it to be.
But he did tell me I'm really good at this. Buddy, you got it.
Mr. Jim said, how is Millie doing? Wish we could see her. I hope she sits in Nick's lap.
Not happening.
It's pouring down rain, and we got home from a church meeting, and Chance was outside playing football in the rain.
Chance is kicking the football.
And Millie's out there running laps. So Millie's actually about to get in the bathtub.
She came in the back door straight in her kennel until she can get a bath.
Yes,
because
she is filthy.
It's been pouring rain all day.
Yeah, before the sun come up.
And it was pouring rain when we left.
And it's still pouring
rain. And we
now.
pull up from the church, and Chance is outside kicking the football. I said, "Does he not know it's raining?" And then we see the dog run by. Oh no!
And she's brown. She's as brown.
Well, she was already partially brown. Now she's completely
now
brown.
Everything that was white is brown.
Good gracious.
So we were talking about baseball. So we had decided, you guys, if you've been with us, we decided not to do the travel ball again for Chance. And so Chance will be playing this. He played kid pitch in travel ball, but we signed back up for league ball, which means all of our games are in the same complex on the same field during the week. And so all these kids that are playing have never played kid pitch.
Right. And he's had a season ahead of him.
Yeah.
Because he played fall ball kid pitch.
Right.
So he's got one season of it under his belt.
Right. So, but this is his first year doing kid pitch, and Rhett's first year doing coach pitch.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. We like the kids doing sports like this.
Oh.
Jody said it's 103 there. They need rain.
Yeah, they're exact opposite of us. They're in the summertime.
Yep.
You want to tell them what you're doing Friday?
Oh.
Because it is that's probably a record for most couples. We're going to our third prom together.
We are. I did not ever go to prom growing up. And so my very first formal event was Nick taking me to prom 3 years ago now. And by mail, I hope you feel better. And so what we do is we help with an event called Night to Shine. And it's the Tim Tebow Foundation hosts a Night to Shine.
And there's like commercials for it on TV. So
yeah,
some have probably seen
look it up. But it is a special needs prom for adults. It's an adult special needs prom. And so what we get to do is our church has been picked. This is our third year and our final year that our church has received a grant. And we get to throw a prom, a full-blown prom for special needs adults in our community. And they get the entire treatment. They get hair and makeup. They get dresses. The boys get tuxes. They get shoe shines. They get to ride in a limousine, and they come in on a red carpet. We've got lots of people that are going to be buddies that get to spend their evening kind of like a date, but they call them buddies. They spend their evening with them. You dance. There's music. There's food. There's all kind. And at the very end of it, all of the participants get crowned, I guess it'd be crowned.
It would all be crowned, yeah.
All the guys get a crown, and the girls get tiaras, and so it's fun. We get to dress up, and
yes, Jody, we did it last year. This is our third time.
We're not able to share videos with y'all because there is absolutely zero photography or video that is allowed to come from that.
They do have video and photographers there, but they are vetted. They are for the event. No individuals can do it.
Right. Any social media, any of that has to come through the Tim Tebow Foundation. Right. Any pictures or stuff they go through, and they release that themselves.
That's right.
And it's not just local to us. It is all across the United States. Is it bigger than that? There we are. Oh my goodness.
Okay, sorry about that.
There we go.
We lost StreamYard for some reason. The Wi-Fi was showing okay, but
yeah.
Are y'all still there?
Okay, that was wild.
Ooh.
Our Wi-Fi shows complete signal. Okay, if we're here, thumbs up.
Y'all let us know if you see us. I see people saying black screen, and y'all went bye-bye.
Okay. That was wild. It just popped up black. It
just stopped all of a sudden. Hey, when it went black for y'all, it went black for us too.
We were scrambling there.
But I looked, and our Wi-Fi was showing okay, and you just turned yours back on.
No, I was turning off. I was trying to
anyway,
turn on my personal hotspot. So I was gonna.
I don't know what you were saying.
I was talking about Night Shine, and so with all of that, that's what we're going to be doing Friday is helping with that prom. So we're going to prom for the third time.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty dress. I like it.
There's the Eddie family.
Hey, y'all.
I see where people were saying hello. They had that happen a couple of times to them where it just dropped out on them. I'm actually doing something different. We need to post before Friday. We need to post our past 2 pictures just so y'all to see it, because I did a little something different for our last prom together.
Nick is always up in it, so he kind of gave me a little surprise. So we do get to take a picture of us dressed up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of explaining that before the event
Ginger,
starts,
I'll make sure the last 2 pictures get posted, but we'll have a picture from this year too.
Yeah. So before the event starts, they do allow all of the workers to take a picture with the backdrop and all of that.
That's right.
And then once our special guests start arriving, we have to put our phones away and we cannot check them or anything like that. And so we will get a picture together.
Pam said she didn't see a lot of the comments coming through. Pam, I see that you're on Facebook. You may be.
Yeah, Facebook's only got 30 something.
You won't see the YouTube comments. We can see the feed from both, but that's why you may be missing some comments that you hear us talking about.
Eddie,
he wanted to know if you let go of that fence on purpose.
No, I did not. And I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, kept trying to grab it, and there it just kept going.
Yeah, you definitely weren't going to catch up to it.
No.
So we've got, goodness, we've talked about a lot already. We've got to do our seed order this week.
We do. Y'all, it's already February. How about that? January went by fast.
We've got to go through our seed inventory and get our Hoss Tools seed order in. We'll do that this week and get gardens ready because it's coming up no time. It's time for us to start seeds now under our grow lights. It's time to go. Ed just gave me an update. Ed, that is
47 days.
One of the next things on my list. I got 2 more things. Ed just pointed out we've got 47 days until the Okie Homesteading Expo.
Yes, we are. Yeah, Brandon said they're excited. We are too. That's one of our favorite things we look forward to last 2 years.
We've been to the first 2. This will be our 3rd one, and that's one of our favorite things to do. We get to see so many people and a lot of friends that we don't get to see a lot. So that's coming up March 22nd and 23rd. And there's going to be a lot of video come out of that because we got a lot going on during that trip.
We do.
We got a lot of surprises for y'all during that trip.
We do. Yep.
Not telling you what. and I'm not going to say whether you get it if y'all start guessing either. So, and then April the 20th, we have the Petals from the Past Antiques in the Garden event in Jemison.
Right. I have a list of all them.
Now, the spring event, I got it for you, Zoe, right here. You can read them off. I got them right there. Oh, I sent you the
You
list.
did.
Okay, so you had it.
So with that one, it's going to be Cog Hill, Just Dig It, Sneeds, Big Family Small Farm, Cattywampus, Hidden Oaks Homestead, Head Family Farm, Flomaton Famous, G&G, Perry Hill, A&W Mini Farm, Generations Homestead, Crazy Lizzie's Goat Farm, and Cowbell Farm. So Cowbell Farm, she's going to be new to us.
Yeah.
And she's a new channel that's starting out as well.
And Brandon just asked, is this kind of like last year, the one they went to? So the one that Brandon and Walker Farm family and
so
all those others, that's the fall event.
Which is specifically YouTubers open. So this is the Antiques in the Garden. So where we were set up when you guys came is actually going to be set up with vendors.
Yeah, all that area will be vendors.
And we will be on the back side where all the fruit trees are behind it. And it is set up for YouTubers. And it's just people here that are local YouTubers.
Yeah.
And it's a little more tucked away. Because they have a whole separate event that they've been doing longer. They just decided to add that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so they're taking 2 events and putting it together.
So Antiques in the Garden is a pedals event with just a local YouTubers meet to the side.
Yeah.
But it's a big event, and it's my favorite time to go because everything is blooming.
Yes.
I mean, that place is beautiful in the spring.
Yes.
I mean, it's nice in the fall.
Right. But everything is in their first blooms, and it's just beautiful out there. And there's all kind of soap making people, all kind of crafty stuff being sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, goodness, there's a lot more vendors than there were channels during the fall.
Right, yeah. And if anybody is curious about what Antiques in the Garden is, I have a video from before we were part of it.
Yeah, we were just out there.
Yeah. If you go back and just look up Antiques, it might just be tagged under pedals, but I have a couple of videos that kind of shows you the layout of how they do it.
Yeah, our first year to actually be part of the meet and greet was last year.
Yeah.
The year before, we were just wandering around looking at the flowers, and we talked to some of the channels and we stood in line at Jason Brook like everybody else.
But you know why? Because they sang happy birthday to Mackenzie.
They did. They sang to Mackenzie.
They're like, why are y'all in line? We said we are officially working and had to get a video made.
That's right.
But that was the first time we met Tracy face to face.
It was.
Because she was walking up the hill and she's like, I know y'all. And we're like, we know you.
That was our first time. Well, meeting in person. Yeah.
Yes. And that's where we met Catherine face to face last year for the first time. We met her face to face because she brought me and Carl up there. And that's when we introduced face to face.
Here's the thing. We also met Nico for the first time there.
Yes.
We met Nico in Egypt there for the first time.
That's right. Yep.
So that's been a pretty good event for us.
Yeah.
Now, last year we were actually part of the meet and greet when we met them, and they were just wandering around, no telling what all Nico bought.
He took plants back, I believe.
If I had to guess.
Well, it's fun. It's a fun event, and I'm glad that they've started doing the fall one where it's just strictly YouTube.
And I hope to get some better video of everything in bloom this year. Last year, we were so focused on the meet and greet part that I didn't get a lot of video of what the place actually looks like, in full bloom.
Every time you would try to walk away, somebody come look for you.
But I know Brandon, when they were here during the fall, there is still stuff blooming. It's still a pretty place. But
nothing compares to that.
You don't get that spring.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's full kind of feel,
Yep.
So I think that's it for me, Zoe.
Are you sure?
I think so.
You mean you didn't run out too early?
I think that's it for me. She says we're buffering at times. I'm not seeing anything here.
There's no telling. So for the longest time, we didn't update them. For the longest time, we've been using our phones with our using our cellular data, and we just bought a new laptop. So it's connected to our house Wi-Fi. And if you remember back a long time ago,
oh gosh,
we were having so many issues with our Wi-Fi on our house.
Well, Lorraine said no buffering, so
okay.
we might be good.
Well,
I'm trying to catch up on some. I'm trying to read these comments, y'all. I promise.
Well, we were worried because we haven't used a computer. We've been streaming off our phone for the longest.
Judy just hit the nail on the head. Read Judy Cole's comment.
If we had a contest on the neatest, most organized farm, Nico and Natalie's would be the winner, hands down. Absolutely.
No question.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Judy, I can't even begin to tell you how jealous I am of Nico's farm.
I know it.
And I'm going to see it in person one day. I'm just going to find an excuse to go visit him.
Yeah.
I
want to go down to that flea market thing.
That would be a good excuse.
We can make a weekend trip and go down, see the flea market, and just happen
Zoe
to find
wants to
Nico
go to that
Natalie's
market
house.
that Nico and the girls go to.
Yeah, we'll just happen to find their house and show up.
It wouldn't take it like
what would
one
he do
text.
if he came out and found me in the goat playground?
If,
I'd be like, oh, hello. I'm just here playing with the goats.
Yeah, but that's what I strive for our farm to look like.
Yes.
That neat, clean, everything is
has
just so
decorated tastefully.
People always tell us, we get comments
Miss
on.
Sue said she'll meet us there. It's only open on Mondays. That's your off day.
I need to go. See, we get a lot of comments on our farm being nice and not having mud and things like that.
I miss Janet.
Y'all, that is bare minimum keep up.
Lana said we have to drive past her to get there, so she'll just jump in as
that'll work. But ours is a bare minimum maintenance, keeping mud out and keeping things trimmed. No, theirs is on
a different level.
A totally different level.
Yeah, Tawana wants to know their page. So that's Our Brown Farmhouse.
Yes.
Oh, she can't see it because she's on Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it right here. And then you can see them on YouTube and Facebook. And there's their name.
Brandon talking about it's
the mud. Yes.
We're doing okay with the mud because most of our farm drains pretty well. We're sloped for the most part of it, and it's terraced, so ours does pretty well water. We don't deal with a ton of mud. We have some, and you get a lot of comments about that. Y'all, we don't see mud. You keep everything so nice.
With us being so kind of open about everything, one thing we've never had an issue with that we're now we're figuring out is we've never had the big animals like we have now. So figuring out the barn to their feeding area.
The traffic right at the door of the barn is
where the cows and the donkeys are.
A little worse.
Yeah.
But still, that is minimum upkeep.
Yeah.
This is not on
That's just a learning curve that I didn't take into account.
Yeah, it's not on an Our Brown Farmhouse level. No. Not even close. No. Yeah. Our Way Out said they were going to try to meet up with them, and they got the C word on their trip.
Yeah. Let's see that.
I'm making a point to make that trip at something.
That's right. He said our vision is a beautiful farm, and they're getting there. That's right. Hey, you got to start somewhere. We tell people all the time, we started from nothing. I remember the very first time you took me on that farm, and there was nothing there but a camper, and you're like,
It was
I
just
want to
a
put
field
cows,
of briars
and we little by little, this fencing we're doing right now is one of the biggest things we never thought we would get to, and here we are.
Yeah.
Working animals and.
Well, the good thing is, Brandon, we can look back and see where it's come from, and that lets you see. That's the good thing about doing videos, is that we can see where it was, and that helps us continue that progress. Because I know it's going to get where I want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt it's already getting closer.
And
I'm trying to see what Nico said. Oh, it's not a race, it's a marathon. That's a fact.
Yeah.
They started their channel near the finish line, so many didn't see the work that took place.
Makes sense too.
There's no question that it didn't just Nico didn't just snap his fingers and it looked like
right. He just started his channel later on after he had made some progress.
But if you have a farm, you can look at it and see what work has gone into that. Yeah. It's like, holy cow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And sometimes when you get kind of discouraged about not making any progress, we're like, okay, but we've done this and we've done that.
And, oh, yeah.
You know, even if we're not working something big right now, we try to do little things, because one of the biggest things we talk about is is to do 1%.
Yes.
And if you do 1% every time you're there, then at some point you've completed 100% of something.
But see, I like the way Brandon has his set up and all his shelters.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Ours, we're still in temporary stages with some of our shelters and things.
We're just now putting up some permanent fencing for the first time.
That's right.
Some of our animals have never been inside of a permanent fence.
Well, and we never started farming that way.
Right. Because we didn't know where we wanted them.
Our style of farming was to keep everything temporary because we didn't know where we wanted the permanent stuff yet.
Right.
So when you go back to see where you've come from, you can see all that progress. And I'm by no means saying anything bad about Brown Farmhouse.
No.
They are top-notch.
Absolutely.
Beautiful farm, but I know what work it took him to get it there.
Yes. He was pointing out that when he started showing his, it was already past a lot of that work.
Sure.
So he comes in and it already looks like this, and people didn't get to go through all that progress and slaving over it as some of the other.
But if you are working through that process, you can look at it and see what has happened there.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that didn't just grow that way.
That's right.
That took
I didn't
work.
cut the grass and it came up all.
You can see what work it took to get it there,
yeah.
And it's a show place, no doubt.
Yeah.
But then again, just if I had to guess, there's probably a list a mile long that Nico has of future projects because it never stops.
And things that he's done that he would like to tweak, or he found ways that he would see it fit better in his house.
I don't doubt that at all. But I see like Daniel's gate systems around his barn.
I think it's so neat.
I love the way his gates
do this where they can still connect and they can come in and out. And
I love Jason's stall areas. Yeah. All of that comes with time. Right. And that helps us plan. Okay, now that we're putting permanent fencing, where do we want our barns and that kind of thing?
We see the successful ways other people have done things. We're like, okay, I like that. I want to have that.
Sure.
Like we could have easily just thrown a barn up in the middle of our pasture, but now that we kind of know we want to put something to live in on the hill, we didn't really need a barn in the middle of the pasture, because then it's going to block our view of our entire pasture.
I'm just waiting on Brandon's house to be there and we can see it all tied together.
I know.
What people are missing is that the house is not there yet.
They don't have
They can't see his vision of what it's gonna be because it's not there.
Right.
Same as us. Now that we're starting to plan, we can see what it's going to look like. We've just got to make it happen so everybody else, because that's what they meant.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. It is hard to see other people's vision unless it's just drawn out in a plan laid. Jason and Brooke had to show their house plan because people couldn't envision when they talk about a hallway or a
Oh,
pantry,
sure, yeah.
they laid it out and it's like, here it is and this is where it's going to be. It's a lot easier to envision it. So, and that'll happen as we make firm decisions.
Well, Nico can just rest assured that he's just setting everybody's goals. How about that?
Yeah. He's setting the bar.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding,
He's
Nico.
setting the bar right there. We got to get up.
We've got to reach Nico's level.
Yeah.
But I am joking. It's a beautiful place, and you're right. I've lost track of even who made that comment at this point, but it is Judy. It was Judy. It was. But
my graph paper keeps changing.
Zoe's graph paper keeps changing too. The only graph paper that hasn't changed is my orchard area. That's the only part of the entire farm that has not changed is the orchard. And that's because Tracy with Just Dig It helped me lay it out. I got the ideas and I actually took the measurements from Jason and we drew that out. And that's the only part that has not changed.
Right. I mean, even the bee placement, we had one, we knew where it was going to go last summer. And that completely changed because everything that we wanted or the way we've envisioned things has changed.
Yeah.
Because and it's kind of like people will tell you live on the property for a year before you start, making decisions. And we're doing it backwards. We're setting all this up before we live there, but we're having to envision it as though we live on the property. Now, how will this work once we live here?
Brandon said, not only did I not realize how much work it was for a small little farm, there's always fixing fence, changing waters, putting out for it. You do.
Yeah.
So you have your constant maintaining on top of any new projects. So
no, Judy, he didn't think.
Judy,
so.
we
nobody, agree with you.
She said I didn't mean anything bad by his house being so neat, clean. We didn't either. I was joking with him about him being the standard. It's a beautiful place, and we love watching it. I don't know that there's anybody that doesn't love watching a clean, well laid out farm.
Right.
If you like farming channels,
I'm sure Natalie has.
That's what I want to watch.
I'm sure Natalie has a drawer that's chaos.
You think there's a junk drawer in the kitchen?
I don't know.
Everybody
about
has to have
it might, but there's one there.
There's a chaos drawer.
Yeah.
Zoe has all chaos drawers.
I do.
All the drawers are chaos.
They are. I do.
But Judy, it's not anything negative. We were just giving Nico a little bit of a hard time because he doesn't want to admit
he likes things so
how much work has gone into that place. It's impressive. It really is. I was just joking.
He said absolutely.
All right. Now we've got to wrap up. We
got to feed these kids before they shrivel up and.
I'm sure Rhett is absolutely about to die.
He hasn't come in here because Daddy promised him a pack of ramen noodles as soon as we got done.
That's all the kid wants to eat.
He loves chicken ramen.
I'm
noodles.
like, we're gonna grill chicken. Can I have noodles?
Yeah.
No.
So we're gonna have a porterhouse steak. Can I have noodles?
No. On noodles. I tell you what. If you let us get through the live without having to show your trucks or cars or whatever,
just said I'm waiting on the truck show.
Kevin wants monster trucks, but I was like, if you let us get through the live without you having to show every toy you own, you can have a pack of noodles, and that's all it took. You haven't seen him.
He's gonna shrivel up and just wither away.
Hey, Rhett.
Your mama said, yeah, 5 times a day. He would eat them breakfast, lunch.
Rhett, come tell everybody bye.
Look, he's so happy.
He's grinning from ear to ear. Come tell everybody bye without turning the table over.
Yeah, don't touch the table.
We're going to sign off. You got to tell everybody bye.
Oh, big old boy. Get up there.
All right, tell everybody we'll see them next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Wait, everybody's going to tell you hello.
Hey.
I'm glad he can't read.
Kevin, he can't read.
Everybody said they wish he had come. Thank you.
See, they miss Farmer Rhett coming in the live.
What did Daddy tell you? You would have what if you didn't come on the live?
What did I say you could have?
Macaroni.
No.
Macaroni?
Noodles.
Noodles.
You asked me for noodles.
She said, bye, Grandpa Red.
I am not a grandpa anymore.
Oh.
Just that one
just
day.
One day.
Kevin said he can see emojis.
All right, you gotta tell them their words. Tell them your words.
Thanks for watching Chestnut Hills Farmstead. I hope you like and subscribe. Bye.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Tell them bye. Well, I can't see because you're in the screen.